How can you make your garden more attractive for hedgehogs? In this video, I'm going to give you 6 very simple things that you can do in your garden to make it more attractive. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome to Hedgehogs Hollow. My name is Mike, and Hedgehogs Hollow is the land at the bottom of my garden. This is the channel for people who are passionate about hedgehogs and who want to attract them to their gardens. So if that's you, then why don't you consider subscribing to our channel and hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time a new video is added. Many people ask the same question you have. How can I attract more hedgehogs, or some hedgehogs, or any hedgehogs to my garden? Well, yes, they are wild animals, but fortunately there are a number of very simple things that you can do in your garden to make it a more friendly and attractive place for hedgehogs. And in this video, we're going to look at 6 very straightforward and inexpensive things that you can very easily do within your garden. So the first thing to consider is access. How is the hedgehog going to gain access to your very friendly garden? Now, if you've looked up on the internet, you may have seen the concept of a hedgehog highway. And quite simply, these are holes in fences or walls between adjoining gardens that allow the hedgehogs to move between those gardens. And that's important because hedgehogs can travel many, many miles within a single evening. So having access to your garden is the first and most important thing. For myself, I don't have a hedgehog highway, rather controversially. I've got a gap under a side gate, and all the size of that gap needs to be is about 13 to 15 centimeters square to give the hedgehog access. Now, the reason I don't have a hedgehog highway adjoining mine to a neighboring garden is simply because of the risk to the hedgehogs. We don't actually have any gardens that adjoin ours that are hedgehog friendly. So rather than give the hedgehog opportunity to encounter a dog in a neighboring garden, I'd rather not have any of those openings. So the side entrance, the hole under the gate, that is my access point. Now, the second thing you want to do is make the environment friendly for hedgehogs. Again, you may have seen the concept of having a wild patch in your garden. Now, for everyone, that isn't always easy. You can't just have wild overgrowth within the garden, especially if you have a lawn. You may think that wild patches are long overgrown amounts of grass, and that isn't quite the truth. For us, we've got a wild patch, or just simply an untidy area of the garden. We've got a really large lawn, and that we keep maintained and manicured. But at the back of the garden, there is the raised bed, under which a large amount of leaves constantly accumulate. And it's not always easy for us humans to get in there. And so that becomes our untidy area of the garden. And that's perfect for hedgehogs. And in fact, you can make it even more perfect by making it perhaps a little bit more untidy. But why not consider, when you're tidying up the lawn, collect all the leaves that may have accumulated, and rather than throwing them in the compost, simply put them into your wild area. That can be your untidy area. So having collected up the leaves, I'm now going to put them into the raised bed at the back here, near the hedgehog houses, and this is going to do 4 things. Firstly, marital bliss. Wife's going to be terribly happy that the lawn is quite clean now. But more seriously and more beneficial for the hedgehogs, this is going to provide them good bedding material. The hedgehogs will come through and be able to collect up these leaves and use them for bedding within one of the 3 houses that we've got. Secondly, this will also attract insects and invertebrates, bugs and beasties, for the hedgehogs to also feed on. So not only bedding material, but a good place for food to develop naturally for the hedgehogs. And thirdly, even if the hedgehogs don't actually get to these, the fact that I've got leaf litter in the garden just reintroduces nutrients into this back area of the garden here. So it's got 3 definite reasons why, as a gardener and as a hedgehog enthusiast, I'd be happy to put these, rather than into the compost, straight into the garden. Now, to be honest, those first 2 points are enough for a hedgehog to be attracted to your garden. And that's what happened for me. I had the hole beneath the side gate which provided access, and I had a rather untidy back part of the garden here, which was a suitable environment for the hedgehog to feel loved and move right in. But having attracted the hedgehog in, you want to give it as much of a home as possible. And so on to point number 3, which is a hedgehog house. Now, there are 2 common ways that you can go about getting a hedgehog house. You can choose to build it yourself, or you can buy it. And in both instances, we have a video available that shows you the do's and don'ts of building a hedgehog house or buying a hedgehog house. So have a look in the description below, where I'll put some links to those videos, as well as the cards on the YouTube card above. I would just add again though, that if you are going to buy a house, please look to support your local hedgehog rescue. They will guaranteed be able to provide you a top quality hedgehog house, and you'll be doing them a great deal of support by supporting them and buying from them. So having provided your hedgehog with a place to live, point number 4 is to provide your hedgehog with some food. Now, this is really quite simple. You can choose to either provide them dry cat or dog food, and for myself, that's really simple. We have 2 cats, and so any surplus food can be shared with the hedgehogs, and they really enjoy tucking into the dry cat biscuits. But you may not have a cat or a dog, or you may simply choose to rather provide them with specific hedgehog food, and various varieties are available. I would just point out that you have a careful look. Not all hedgehog food is created equal. So I've provided some links in the video description below of some recommended brands of proprietary hedgehog food. So having provided your hedgehog with a good food supply, the next thing to do is to provide a good supply of water. Now, don't be misled. Despite their small size, hedgehogs are extremely thirsty little creatures, and so a good supply of clean water is terribly important, especially in dry summer times. Hedgehogs can get terribly dehydrated, and you want to ensure that you've got a good supply of water, provided in a small, shallow bowl so that it can't flip over on the hedgehogs. And finally, point number 6. Having made your garden a hedgehog haven, you want to adapt your gardening to continue to make that garden as friendly as possible for your hedgehogs. So the main item here is to stop using chemicals within your garden, and key is slug pellets. No more slug pellets for your garden. And yes, that does mean that slug populations will increase, and you may have to start picking them up in the evenings just before dusk, but it's well worth it to have a few extra slugs, but to have a lot extra hedgehogs. So in summary, if you want to make your garden as hedgehog friendly as possible, follow these 6 easy steps. First is access. Second is a nice, friendly environment, an untidy garden if you will, or a wild patch. Third is a hedgehog house, followed by food, and 5th, water. And finally, change your gardening methods. No more chemicals. Be as friendly to your hedgehogs as possible in all your gardening methods. And that's it. I hope you'll be able to follow these 6 easy steps to make your garden hedgehog friendly. But if there's anything else that you're doing to attract hedgehogs to your garden, do let me know in the comment section below this video. And if you've enjoyed it and you've got some value out of it, please give it a like, and if you want to, subscribe to the channel as well by hitting that subscribe button, and make sure to also hit the notification bell so that you are made aware of every new video we upload. Until next time, from myself, Mike, and the hedgehogs of Hedgehog Hollow, it's goodbye.